So I just realized Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 has been remastered and re-released on console and PC. So we're going to take a little bit of time, reminisce, and talk about how I've been doing in the game. Sit back, relax, grab some meat or whatever you need. I'm Corey, and it's time to get into it. So like I said, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 has been remastered and re-released on all consoles, all current consoles, as well as PC. This is a game that is phenomenal. It's outstanding. I have wished, hoped, waited for this for quite some time now. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 is the follow-up to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1. Pretty obvious, which was actually re-released last year, I believe. The second half of last year, if I'm not mistaken, Baldur's Gate 1, Dark Alliance 1 was re-released, and it was fun. It made me remember just how difficult some of these older games were. There were many times where I tried to progress faster and easier than you could in these older games, and I paid heavily for it. So when I saw that Dark Alliance 2 was on the PlayStation Store, I was incredibly excited. You guys may know I have taken a bit of a step away from gaming for a while. I've been focused on working and going to car meets, doing stuff like that. So gaming hasn't really been a top priority. But of course, with Dark Alliance 2 being re-released, it has quickly jumped back up into a priority. This is something that my wife has never played, but we constantly talk about Gauntlet Legends for Nintendo 64. Gauntlet Legends for Nintendo 64 was another fantastic hack and slash adventure type game. Not quite Baldur's Gate, but still a lot of fun. Gauntlet on 64 was another game that my wife and I, as we were kids separately, played a lot of. And Baldur's Gate, with it being re-released, has given me the opportunity to invite my wife into a game that I played heavily. Arguably one of the only console-based hack and slash RPGs that I played more than Gauntlet Legends. These were the kinds of games that I absolutely adored when I was a kid, put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into, with no remorse, no bad feelings towards doing so, and have great plans on doing them again. Now, I've heard or read people complaining that the game is not as fun as they remembered, or that they should have done different things to make the game more updated. I disagree. See, these old games were great for a reason. They're remembered for a reason. To get a copy of Diablo 2 for PlayStation, Dark Alliance 2 for PlayStation 2, you're looking at spending over $100. Don't have to do that anymore. Now you can drop $30, which is a price that some people are saying is a bit too extreme, a bit too high. And for that I say, have you tried not being poor? No, I'm joking. I think $30 is a fair price for the game. For the amount of time that you'll spend in the game, for the amount of enjoyment that you'll have in the game, if you actually enjoy these styles of game, these types of games, I think Dark Alliance 2 is, if the game was $60, if the game was the price of a full-fledged new game, I could understand being a little bit resistant to the price. But $30 is more than a fair price for this game. I have already invested 30, almost 25 hours into the game with the save file of my own personal play, the save file of my wife and I's play, and the save file of my son and I's play. I've easily put over 30 hours into the game already. Now, if you spend $30 on a game and you spend more than 2 hours on the game, you've gotten your money's worth. $15 an hour, I mean, that's the same price that an entry-level employee gets paid at most jobs. Well, that's not the price of federal minimum wage. Almost nobody gets paid federal minimum wage. Shut up. Like, different topic, different story. We'll discuss that. Maybe we'll discuss that another time. So I guess now that let's talk about the premise of the game, I guess, kind of lightly. So if you played through Dark Alliance 1, Dark Alliance 2 takes place immediately after that, within the game world. If you haven't played Dark Alliance 1, you don't need to, but if you're interested in the story of the game, the synopsis of the background of everything that's going on, it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least play through the story once to understand, the story of the game, play through the campaign, understand what's going on. Gives you a very brief rundown. When the game starts, you get to choose one of 5 different characters with, I recall, a 6th one being unlocked later on. These characters being a dwarf rogue, which is the classical Dungeons and Dragons style of rogue, not the World of Warcraft style of rogue or anything like that. It's a very loot-based class. Critical strike's very important. Looting, tactical things such as bombs, stuff like that. You also can choose a necromancer, an elf necromancer. Standard Dungeons and Dragons style of necromancer, summon a skeleton, siphon life, vampiric touch, magical shields. Pretty basic. All of the classes are pretty basic from what you would expect. There's also a elf monk, which is what my wife is playing. So good. Such a good character for just basic hand-to-hand combat. You don't need to use weapons to excel phenomenally with this character, but if you do, you can wield a staff and do a wide array, not a wide array, there's a couple different AoE abilities, weapon strikes. There's also the human cleric. Believe it or not, this human cleric is insanely strong. This is one of, in my opinion, one of the strongest characters to start out with, simply due to the magic, the flame strike. Call down a pyre of fire and it leaves, it calls down and then there's a little line of fire. Incredibly strong, can wield any armor type when you start the character. Very, very strong class. Or a human barbarian. Haven't really put much time in the barbarian. I'm pretty sure that's what I used a fair amount next to the rogue back when I was a kid. Don't remember the class, but I can imagine very strong weapon user, standard barbarian type class. So these are the 5 classes you choose from. Later on in the game, after you beat the campaign, if I recall correctly, I could be wrong, but I believe you actually unlock Dris Duerden, which, if you're familiar with, is the drow ranger of sorts. I believe it's classified as a ranger. 2 one-handed scimitars, scimitars, however you want to pronounce it. Very, very, very good, strong, powerful character. Each of these characters are strong in their own way. Each of these characters have things that they'll excel at. And it is the standard hack and slash style of RPG. You level up. As you level up, you can invest points into different attributes. Not stats like strength, stamina. You get one of those points every 4 levels, I believe it is. But attributes such as 2-weapon fighting, 2-handed fighting, increased health regeneration, increased carrying weight, your ability to use different classifications of armor, things like that. your magic abilities, how strong they are, different things like that. On top of that, there's crafting in the game. Crafting in the sense that you will get gemstones, topaz, ruby, jet, pearl, moonstone, the list goes on, which apply different buffs. You can actually, not buffs, but they buff the weapon or the armor or the necklace or ring that you put it on. But you have to have a certain level of quality of that item to put it on. You can't pick up a shoddy greatsword and buff it. It has to be of fine quality or higher. The quality of armor, the quality of weapon increases or decreases the amount of damage or durability, not durability, but armor that the item has. All of these things play phenomenally into the loot-based hack and slash RPG feel that myself and many other people are looking for in this style of game. Is it going to be so deep that you're going to have the same type of build quality that you would out of a game like a current Skyrim or something like that? No. Oblivion? No. But it's more so akin to like Diablo 2. I would say the builds are deeper than Diablo 3, but you get to a certain point where once your character's leveled up enough, you'll be able to have every single attribute, use every single magic ability that your character has. And from there, you just kind of figure out what build best suits you, what build is strongest, what build best fits your playstyle. So it is a linear game in the way that the maps are set up. You'll get quests in a certain order. You don't have to do them in a specific order to a certain point. They'll give you 2 to 3, sometimes more, quests that you can choose from. You'll need to go through and complete the majority, if not all of them, to progress in the story, but you can do a lot of them in whichever order you choose. Right out the gate, you'll be walking through linear pathways to get to Baldur's Gate. Once you get to Baldur's Gate, you'll unlock a few more quests. Then you progress through a linear map as you progress. The items that drop are procedurally generated in the sense that they're randomized. You can go and loot a weapon rack and then die, reload your game, loot that same weapon rack and get something completely different, which is another thing that just, it feels so good. Does it suck when you loot something that's really strong and then you don't save and you die and you lose that item? Absolutely. But that's the nature of the beast. That's one of the things that makes games like this so fun, is the idea that if you don't play properly, if you don't play smart, if you don't save often, you can lose some of the good items that you found. I don't even want to talk about the stuff that I lost last night when I died. It was annoying. It was a lot of enchanted gear that I got that was really good. And then I died and I reloaded and I went and I opened the same chest and went to the same weapon racks. Not a single piece of enchanted fucking gear dropped. It was annoying, but you know what? Like I said, it's the nature of the beast. It's the roll of the dice. Dark Alliance 2, it's $30. If you don't have $30 to spare on a game, then you should probably be doing something other than playing video games to begin with. But if you do have $30 and you're looking for something that will definitely, if you're interested in action role-playing games, if you're interested in the top-down isometric view, hack and slash style of games, I would definitely recommend Dark Alliance 2. Don't listen to the critics' reviews. Don't listen to the fucking these Eurogamer.net and all of these different critics that are looking for easy wins, success without working for it or anything like that. They fucking suck at video games and they expect everything to be handed to them. This is not a game that's going to hold your hand and give you everything. You're going to die. You're going to lose progress. You're going to lose loot, and you're going to have to reload. If you don't save often, you're going to lose a lot more. Me, I save at every single fucking save point I come across. I don't care if I save the game and then I walk through a doorway and there's another save point. You know what? I'm saving it again. I have 2 save files for every single one of my accounts because if you remember playing on PlayStation 2, it is a very easy thing to do to save over one of your files on accident. So I suggest having multiple save files of every single playthrough because at some point in time, you will accidentally save over one of your files. And if you've invested 10s, 20s, 30s, hundreds of hours into this, and you save over the file, it doesn't feel good. And if you don't have multiple save files, it's going to happen. So the next thing we need to do is we need to have Nintendo Switch. We need to have them remaster and re-release Gauntlet, or not even remaster, just put Gauntlet on the Nintendo 64 thing, the Nintendo 64 Play, whatever the fuck it's called. We also need to have Champions of Norath. Champions of Norath took all the things that we love about Diablo, or again, trying to call it Diablo 2. They took all the things that we love of Dark Alliance 2 and expanded upon it. You have more depth of customization, more depths of playability. From what I recall, a little bit more open worldy. The maps seem bigger. The loot seems better. And hopefully that's what's on the table next. I know that myself and many other people will buy it the day that it comes out again, if they decide to do this. So here's to hoping that Champions of Norath comes out. The only thing that I wish they would have added for Dark Alliance 2, which I understand why they didn't, would be the ability to play online. And that's just because my best friend and I, we've been best friends for over 20 years now, which means when Dark Alliance 2 came out, we were friends at that point in time. And we played together on PS2. Me and my best friend, me and my brother, we would spend hours and hours and hours theory crafting and building and having fun playing through the game, and it was a massively enjoyable time. It would be great to be able to get online and play the game with them, but at the same time, it feels so much better to have someone come over and you two to sit on the couch together and play together in person, hanging out on the couch, having a couple beers, having dinner together, just being together in person playing games. My wife told me this morning as I'm taking her to work, I'm driving her to work, I get up, I make her lunch, I get it all ready. Her friend's coming over because I give her friend a ride to work as well. I make their iced coffees for them because I'm a good husband. That's just what I enjoy doing. I like spoiling them a bit. So I make them their iced coffees and I go and I start warming up the car. But it's summer, why do you need to warm up the car? Because I have a WRX, okay? These cars are very temperamental. It doesn't leave the parking spot until the oil temperature is at 120 Fahrenheit. So I go out and I start the car up and I'm waiting and my wife comes out and she gets in the passenger seat and she goes, I'm going to take a nap after work and then let's stay up all night and play Dark Alliance 2. I have not been as excited for the let me rephrase that. The last time I was excited like I am for this was when my wife told me, "Hey, I've scheduled my vacation days. When WoW Classic releases, we're going to stay up all night for a couple days and play." These type of things, like just sitting in the same room as somebody and playing games with them, is it's such a more real, raw, visceral experience. And it is so much more enjoyable than playing online. I have friends that, I could get on the headset and I could talk to them and I could play games with them, and sure, yeah, that's fine. But actually having someone sitting next to you while you're playing the game together is so much different. It's so much better. It's so much more enjoyable. So tonight, we're going to get some beer. We're going to go and have dinner. And then we're going to come home after she naps and we go and have dinner. We're going to come home. We're going to play Dark Alliance 2 for hours and hours and hours. Me on my cleric, her on her monk, and we're going to progress. And we're going to fucking love it. And I hope that you're able to pick up this game and have as much fun with it as I've been having, as I will continue to have, as many other people will have. My best friend on his day off on Tuesday, he's going to come over and we're going to play it then. And it's going to be a fucking blast. Anyways, that's the video. I just kind of wanted to reminisce on old times, talk to you about Dark Alliance 2, and maybe inspire just one or two people to get the game, to invite your friends over, and to just have a much more personable, sit down on the couch, play co-op gaming experience like we used to 20 years ago. Back in the day when gaming was something that if you wanted to play a video game with your friend had to come over. Back then, it was 2 liters of Mountain Dew and fucking Totino's frozen pizza. Nowadays, it's fucking Domino's or Papa Murphy's or fucking Godfather's and some beer. Or some meat. I have some meat in the fridge. Maybe we'll crack into that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll take it as it comes. Anyways, that's my video. Let me know what you guys think about the game, if you've been playing it, or if you plan on picking it up. If you do pick up the game because of this video, then let me know what you think of the game, how you've been having, how much fun you've been having with the game. If you didn't like the game, why you liked it, why you didn't like it. Start a YouTube channel, talk about it. If you put a comment in my videos telling me, hey, I have my own video on the topic, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to your channel and I'm going to watch it. I think that my channel automatically doesn't allow links. Let me know that you've made a video. Let me know that you've made a video and then link it in another comment. And if I see that you've commented that you've made a video on the topic and you want me to allow that link, then I'll go in and I'll go in and I'll accept the link, because why not? Rising tide lifts all ships. Anyways, I've been rambling for long enough. I hope you'll have a great day. Go exercise, go to the gym, call your mom, call your dad, call your grandma, call your grandpa, tell them what's up, tell them hey, tell them you love them. If you hate them, don't talk to them. If they're a piece of shit and you don't want to talk to them, don't talk to them. I get it. But make your bed, clean your room, enjoy life, have fun, go outside, do something different, have fun. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out. Peace.